Eric Dykes here for Infowars.com. Now, you've heard the alerts on our website how the SPLC and mainstream media who are following their lead are now labeling the next potential terrorist not as jihadists, not as Muslim people, but as white people. And they say, in part, quote, they're not jihadists. They are white, right-wing Americans, nearly all with an obsessive attachment to guns, who may represent a greater danger to the lives of American civilians than international terrorists. And you say, why are they doing that at the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center? Why is the U.S. government touting that? Well, for the reasons they always do, to use divide and conquer tactics to distract people from the real issues of consolidation of power, of banking in our government, meddling with our finances and taking everything. They want people to be distracted by race and to buy into the bogus war on terror that's continually falling, even as support for government falls. Now, on the heels of that, there's a shocking report in CNSnews.com. Wisconsin Vista program encourages volunteers to overcome white privilege. Now, this is a branch of AmeriCorps, the service that Obama and other people in government want everyone to have to commit 2 years of national service to. And they have an indoctrination program for these volunteers who work with people who are poor so they can overcome and recognize their privileges, not just as being people in the middle class or upper class, but of being white itself. They've got a certain set of courses that the Department of Public Information wants their volunteers to indoctrinate themselves with, titled Power and Privilege. They have all kinds of websites, links, seminars you can attend, and they're all centered around race and feeling bad about, quote, your white privilege.
I remember sitting in a meeting and being told that I need to own my whiteness and I need to own the fact that I have white privilege. I almost feel the embarrassment from it and the shame from it. Only then can I start breaking, down the walls and be able to teach my students of color and to reach out to them, which of course is absolutely absurd.
Specifically, they have a mental model for white anti-racists. So if you're not racist, you have to follow this, they say. And one of the reminders is to wear a white wristband to remind yourself of your white privilege so other people can see it and know you feel guilty about this. And while you do that, they say you want to find a person of color who can hold you accountable as you try to live up to your guilt in this matter and undo your privilege. This is all backwards. It's going to only contribute to racial divide. How did we go from recognizing that it was wrong to single out Jewish people by putting yellow stars on them to thinking that white bracelets could help people overcome racism somehow? While they set up white people to take the blame for all the racial problems in society and to set them up, of course, as the next domestic terrorists whenever the government stages a new attack to bolster their flagging support, they're encouraging groups like Hispanics to become revolutionary and revolt over border issues. These billboards put up in Austin that tell people in Spanish to rise up, my people, arriba mi gente, showing a revolutionary crowd raising flags, throwing their fists in the air and ready to take over. And just imagine if some white supremacist group put up their own billboards. If there's a KKK mural up on the highways, people would throw fits, and they should. But again, the main problems are systematic. We are all being debased through these global trade policies, GATT, NAFTA, WTO, you name it, coordinated at the elite financial level, not happening at the individual levels. We need to learn to live together, and we can. But we don't need to divide ourselves further with this kind of propaganda. I want to